who can tell me I'm wrong for how I'm getting this paper? Life is hell when you ain't getting mail and ain't nobody gonna save us. So I can really give a damn if you think that I'm wrong or right. I'm a hustle all day. I'm a hustle all night.
Hello, and welcome to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach, y'all. Y'all heard it. We're going to hustle all day. We're going to hustle all night, man. We've been hustling. Once again, went to a couple games, the Tuesday night games, Wednesday night games. So I got my crew coming on in. Kevin Howe, a.k.a. the One-Eyed Scout. Also following up, I mean, these two are doing some dynamic things together. My main man, Phil Townsend. Phil knows it all. What's up, Phil?
All right, what's happening?
Okay, man. Everybody good? I know we had a couple games. We want to jump right into it. Justin played Steel, and you two had a courtside seat to that one. And then we also went to Antonian High School, where we saw point guard Amari eclipse 2,000 career points. So we're gonna talk about those, man. I'm gonna turn it over to the one and only, the One-Eyed Scout, and let's get it going, man. So what you say about them games?
Well, I think we need to start off with Amari Guerra on that accomplishment because, as we spoke last time, it now puts him in position to chase the city scoring title. But it was a kind of a quiet night. It was a senior night, and at first, his shot wasn't falling, and he kept setting up players. He's right outside the top 10 in assists, right outside the top 10 in points per game. Actually, Edison Onway is in the top 10 for points in the TAPS division, points a game.
Is this for a season?
No, this is per game. Per game. Yeah, and I was happy to get a chance to see that. We actually were courtside there, and not at the Judson Steel game because of a late night decision. But you know what? I've heard, I've watched some film on, and if you want to go back and clip it, a few shows ago I told you when Judson gets it figured out, they're going to be dangerous. And what's funny is I was talking to a friend of mine at the Antonio game, and I asked why he wasn't at the other game. I knew why me and Phil and you were there to watch 2000. And the comment was, "Man, they already got their one loss for Steel. They're gonna be good." And Judson went in there and hung another loss on them by 6. And what Maurice Eddy was held in check, and they couldn't run the offense, and they had a game plan destroyed with one Jalen Red Crittenden and company. And I don't know if people saw it on social media, but the freshman sensation Jamari Bowen had 2 dunks in that game and finally caught a body on somebody. And Mount Young is just a freshman, man.
So Justin Steel you're talking about, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so it looks like in that district, we'll talk about the standings later, but Judson's going to be solidly in it. Remember, they started out 1-3 or 2-3, and now they're standing at 5-3. So they're rattling off a couple of wins in a row. Uh, so yeah, but the real game I want to talk about before we go.
For y'all dash off and lead the Justin Steele game. I got a good question, because I was didn't make it, but uh, so you saying once Judson figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be tough? Is that what you're saying? They're gonna be tough,
Yeah.
or they're gonna be right up there where they can give Brennan? Oh,
Well, I
oh,
mean,
oh, did
yeah,
I jump somebody?
I'm hearing what you're saying,
Okay,
but
I'm
you
listening
comparing
to
you
you.
comparing a little bit of apples to oranges when you say Brennan.
Oh,
They top 5-7 in the country
cool.
amongst all teams. Brennan.
Okay.
I told you, Vance, last the last time we did the show, Kevin, I told you Vance wasn't a believer in Brennan. He tried to deny it, but he stepped right back into it again today.
Well, now look, but look.
He had me coughing.
Oh, but look. Hey, okay. So you were saying, so is Justin 6A?
Judson 6A.
Okay. So I'm in the
Yeah.
right district. I'm in the right.
You-
Okay, 6A,
You're in
6.
the right class.
Okay,
Yeah.
glad. Yeah. So I'm just saying, you said when they're getting together, and Steele is probably is they the one that really can they challenge Brennan?
After last night, I doubt it.
See, Vance is in the right class. Uh, yeah, but he studied the wrong material. See, he's just not learning that Brennan is who we said they are.
Well, you know what? Since you two statisticians on the show and everything, yeah, I am a visual. I'm the eye see.
Well,
The eye test man. I'm
don't
not.
ever take those glasses off when you go to a Brennan game, because if your eye test isn't getting you there, I don't know what can.
Okay, like I said the other day, it just seemed like I said I mentioned about Kingston. It only
Yeah,
seemed like he's being pressed. So
I'm,
I
yeah,
just want to see some challenging
yeah.
ball and some upgrade of San Antonio.
Again, Kevin has already
Now, hold
told
on.
you that they've
That's
been
all.
challenged.
Huh?
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I'm not talking to outside of the city.
No,
I'm,
I know what you're saying.
yeah.
But, like, if you go and watch and look at Judson, they've got three guys 6'5" or taller, one 6'8", Ivan Dorn going to Adams University. They got 6'4" Jamari Bowen. They got Elijah Favela, and they got Red and Gerald O'Neill. Like, they have guys. Is it conceivable that they could beat them? Yes. Is it going to happen? I, the way Brennan's locked in right now, it's going to take a superhuman game from someone within the city. Now, when we get to the Final Four, like I think you can get on the Monopoly board and go ahead and move them there. Um, we'll see, because you might have Allen again, which they've beaten. You might have Duncanville, which they haven't played. Well,
Ooh,
Allen's
I don't know
number
about that
two.
Duncanville.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like,
ooh.
I don't want this to come back at me, Coach Cowgill.
What?
But
But we're talking about right.
Best
We're
say his
talking
name
about
right
right
too.
here in this. In talking with Vance, we're talking right here in this greater San Antonio
Right.
area. Yeah, once you step out, and with the whole Allen and Duncanville thing, now you set it to where we really want to be there front row and
oh
see.
yeah, yes, because I mean, if you're going through the lineups, if you're looking at star power, the stars and rankings, Brennan has the advantage. Um, We've seen them play tough games, or I have, up at the Noble. Um, we've seen them play teams from California, teams from the East Coast. But what we haven't really seen is the opportunities to see them versus a Duncanville, or the way the tournaments have played out. But man, I don't see a team in this region beating them. I really don't. Now I've got friends and loved ones and players that I'm really high on that are going to be competing against them. But I think the collection of players, not only Kingston, the collection of players on Brennan's team is going to be hard for anyone. And I'll take Jacob Padilla, for instance, number 12. You know, he's a sophomore, and he'd be starting anywhere else. But he chose to go dogfight it out at Brennan every day. So
Is that that's the
that's
football athlete?
no. That's God dog it. I forgot his name right off the bat. But no, that's not him.
That's let me run you over.
Who's Padilla? Which one's Padilla?
Padilla is number 12. Little, I say, respectively, smaller point guard. Um, and he's a Hispanic kid. Um, he he doesn't look like much on the eye test, but
Oh, okay. Maybe was that why I'm not really on him.
yeah.
I'm
And
trying to figure out who he is.
the football kid we're talking about is
I know the football kid. He's number 11, right?
Aiden Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
so it's important to note that he's a sophomore, right? And he's
Aiden?
already Aiden, and he's
Aiden?
already earned a football scholarship to UTSA.
Nice.
So you're talking about a dynamic athlete
Yeah.
that nobody really talks about,
Right.
unless you're one of those hoop heads like us, or
Yeah.
some guys on the other side of the city.
But you can tell he's a football player.
Oh yeah, and,
Yeah.
and that's part of the fun that I've had going with Kevin, because Kevin knows all of these guys. The one-eyed scout, he knows them all, and I can say, well, that guy just came off the football field, and he's like, yeah, he sure did. and he'll talk about some of the guys' prowess on the football field. So anyway, that's what the one-eye scout does. He knows thoroughly these players. So I'm telling you, reach out.
Opposite of you, when you claim to come from football to basketball, you still brought football in, man. You wore cleats to practice. That's Townsend. Could you get some tennis shoes?
Man, y'all a mess, bro. But no, man. I would love. That's a matchup I would love to see. Judson Brennan.
Oh, whoa.
But
Go ahead,
before we get off of this Antonian game,
Yeah.
Kevin did hit the nail on the head, and that was one of the things that he brought up, and you could see before Amari got cooking. And when I say cooking, it wasn't that long. He had 17 points at the half. So the thing is, though, when the shot wasn't falling, he was still head in the game, setting his teammates up. But I would tell you, while he was waiting, the guy that was stealing the show was Edison Anway. If I tell you, he had a strong game. They couldn't do anything with him inside. He just completely annihilated them inside. He really looked good. And Vance, you're leaning.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you kidding? What?
I mean,
you didn't
dominated.
what?
You
Are you
said,
talking about? Are you looking at the caliber of competition?
well, it's not that. Well, see, okay. By saying that, it should have been more of a domination. I think he should have been more. He's a senior, right? He's a senior.
He
I think
he had almost 30 points. What else did you want?
Yeah, but see, we've been talking about this kid. That's the reason we first went to Antonio too, is
Mhm.
when Kevin mentioned Amari, he told us about Amari, then he told us about the lefty, the southpaw. Ed,
I'm sorry. It's quite possible you didn't hear what I said about him and what he was doing. Because for you to go like,
yeah, but
almost 30
that
points
should
ain't
have been a
nothing.
given.
But again, it doesn't matter if who the competition is. If you dominate, especially competition, you should dominate.
I
Then
don't think
you've done your.
that wasn't a domineering.
You are, Kevin.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
saying it was
Kevin. I'm gonna
a
stop.
dominating
I'm gonna
performance,
stop
Kevin,
because
at
Vance's head
the
is just
level that
like
you're
that
saying,
wall,
huh?
that brick wall, just hard. Kevin, you go ahead.
Well, the one-eyed scout, you tell me.
Well, I mean, I think he did what he
Just because
had
he
to do.
scored 30,
I
that
think.
don't mean I don't think he.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that. So, what goes into that 30-point performance? Because at some point, there is a mental letdown of adrenaline, of whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying he didn't play top. He played great in
Great.
that game.
He
In
played
the
great.
in the arena that he was in,
What's that mean?
in the game that he was in,
Okay.
Antonio versus Savoy,
Okay.
what part of that wasn't dominated? Because now I have some, I won't say concerns, but I take in what you do against top level competition. And so we go back to what he did against Johnson, because he dominated.
Now you got to look back at the time they played Johnson. Johnson has really, because I think they should have Johnson should have beat them. There's no way Johnson should have not beat Antonian.
I think the play of Edison Conway in that game, in his one-on-one matchups with Darrell and one-on-one matches up with Mark, and the few times that Max got over there, I think he drew fouls on them. I really do. And so at that point, that's a strategy to get them off you.
Okay, I
And it
didn't.
wasn't like they were playing soft.
No. See now, you now see you've been watching Phil too much, Kevin. You've been watching Phil too much. He got you doing this, okay? You changing the whole narrative. Okay, hey,
Nah, because I'm about to talk about Johnson in the next segment. But
okay. I'm gonna go to let it go. Okay. You got. I mean, I like Ed. I still think he needs to stay in the gym and shoot and develop that.
Nobody said he didn't, Vance. We're just telling you about what happened.
No.
Yeah.
Y'all said it was like total domination. Like he dominated.
Okay, let me know who stopped him. Who stopped him?
All right.
No, who stopped him?
Well, look. So, boy, what's the name? What's the name of the squad?
Coach Bernard, you the
No,
only one to stop Edison Onway last night.
Let me know who stopped him, man.
he should have had 50.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, man.
But I think he might have been distracted for some reason.
No, okay.
I mean, there was a lot of things going on. You had
I think, and I don't think that was for a domineering. I mean,
hey,
okay.
Back in the day, when that Minnesota had the Purple Rain, did they dominate?
The Purple Rain. You mean the Purple People Eaters? You talking about
back in the day in the Vikings?
Did they what?
Yeah, I mean, did Vince Lombardi dominate? Yeah. I'm going in your direction with football, right?
Yeah,
I mean does Patrick Mahomes being part of State Farm dominate to get them to multiple Super Bowls?
Right, man. See, there you go. You've been listening to Phil. Now you talking about Patrick Mahomes. ain't nothing about this Antonian game has the grit and the status that a Patrick Mahomes would have.
All
I'm
right.
saying that I like Ed. I think he's got great skills, but I just think that maybe he was distracted that game against
I
Salvador.
don't know what I tell you what, he needs to be distracted every game.
No,
If
no.
you call that a
If he
distraction
play
game.
that way against what are they? I don't know who's the top Catholic.
Okay, but
St.
Vance,
Michael's.
If he play that way
again,
against St.
if
Mike,
he goes in there and he gets 18 on somebody that's a top defensive player like you're talking about, okay, what's wrong with that? Tell me what's wrong with that. He put it on to a team that he should have put it on.
okay.
And why you can't recognize that, it's clueless. Next thing you're gonna say, he should have scored 70.
I just wanted to say that we start off with Judson beating number 7 ranked Steel. All right. So now we go to the grudge match that was Johnson versus Reagan. I think at one point it was 15-6 at the quarter in Reagan's favor. And as a Jaguar would, Johnson clawed their way back in. But no, man, it was a great game, man. It was defensive. It wasn't pretty, but I think whenever I will want to point out, Mark Anthony had 6 points in the first half, but they were 3 determined drives to get to the basket, and for him to take the next step next year, that has to become more of what we see. Because he can shoot, he can drive, but there's going to be times, and talking to a national scout today, the conversation is he needs to do that over the summer too. And so they want to see more of that driving force to take over a game. You know, you got to give it up. Ian Rizzo in the second half, when they were starting second half, he hit a three and then turned right around him and caused a turnover. You know, but it was just back and forth, back and forth. Um, the Chance Hill, uh, the grandson of Bob Hill, number 23. I'm not sure what he ended up with, but he played solidly. And really, the only reason Johnson got back into the game, why was it, Phil?
It was lack of hitting free throws from Reagan. I'm telling you, they would have been running double digits through that game had they made their free throws. It,
Yeah,
it
and
was incredible. But Vance, when I tell you, you want to talk about a raucous crowd on
yeah,
both sides. Uh, it reminded me. Well, Vance, you would be unfamiliar with this, but it reminded me of the crowds when I played. And no, but it was electrifying in the air. Both fan bases were really into it. I'm telling you, it was the best environment. It was the best environment going. Yeah.
it was.
Now, I like those games when you go to the schools and they
Yeah,
play in their gym. I like those. I mean, that's our era, man. That's playing in your home. Yeah, man. Your
Yeah.
home court was your home court. You meant something, man. You knew every little
yeah,
crack, every little where the ball might be dead, hitting the floor, the dead spot in the floor, or something. The rim, the shake, rattle, and roll of the rim. But you know,
But yeah, but what this game was so exciting in advance because it was like wasn't until around like the 6:27 mark that Johnson tied the game at 37 apiece, and they didn't get the lead let's see, until around the 346 mark. So
Yeah.
it was, and then it went back and forth a little bit then before Johnson pulled it out. And in the end, I just think that that might have been a little clock mismanagement on Reagan's part in there, but that's just my assessment on that
Well,
part.
I mean, but you look at it, Gerald Vance got hot late in the game,
Yeah,
and he hit a couple of big shots. Then Mark Anthony got that and one late that put him to the 4 point advantage. You know.
right. And then, yeah, and then when Daryl Banks started getting the lobs,
Oh yeah,
it just set the place ablaze. Uh, it was good. I got to tell you, Vance, it was really an exciting game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
yeah.
Amazing. It's amazing. Y'all got uh that's four there and four there. That's eight. Uh 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 you got two eyeballs, uh four eyeballs and two pairs of glasses and amazing what you so
All right.
stop being me, trying to be me with the eye test. Stay with stats.
Hey,
Let
but
me
you
tell
know
you,
what we need? Hey,
these two, Kevin and Phil, they stat man. They stat man. So if you ever want the eye test, the real eye
hey,
test,
well, hold on. You remember in about 2 or 3 weeks ago when I said Madison is going to give somebody trouble, and we talked about him being shorter in stature? Well, don't look now, but Madison is like tied for fifth or tied for fourth, I believe, with Brandeis, who's been lost a couple games in a row. So I texted Coach Martinez and tell him about how good his players are doing. They got that big win against Clark, and it really jumbled up the district when that happened. But good job to them. Um, Coach Martinez over at Madison. And then, the other thing that we got going on is when we come back from break, we can talk about the state rankings. They got a new set that came out yesterday. Um, we can talk about the district standings. We can talk about Friday night and what we're planning to do on Saturday.
all right, well, let's take a quick station break, man, and let's jump back into it, y'all. Hey guys, if you just tuned in, you tune in to TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach. It's the Coffee Break Sports Edition, y'all. The sports edition of the Coffee Break. We got my main man's up top, Phil Townsend. I'm down at the bottom, Vance Bradford, and over there to the side doing his thing, the big screen. We give him the big screen, Mr. Kevin Howe, aka the One-Eyed Scout, y'all. We'll be right back after a brief message from my main man, Heisman Trophy winner, Mike Rozier.
Hey, I'm Mike Rozier, 1983 Heisman Trophy winner, and you're watching TAN TV.
I love it.
Nebraska's own.
Before we start there, I keep turning my head, but I can't help it. Watching the big screen over here, watching LSU. Yo, school, Kevin,
Yo,
and playing Oklahoma. Yo, state, Phil. That brother is dead true to Oklahoma, and it's a good game, man. It's the women's game this year, but they hooping, man. Oklahoma got a little hooper in them, but we know LSU gonna tear that tail up.
they don't have a flow. Yay!
And they don't have a flow J.
Yeah. Well, Floje don't have her music able to be played either.
All right, man. Let's get on back to it, man. Talk to us, Kevin, man.
Let's go ahead and pull up the standings because made a small change, but changed the place where I got my information from. But so the format now is we're going to just go one through whatever. Uh, so it makes it easier to look at. But Wagner standing firm. Uh, Piper, I believe they beat Alamo Heights to tie them up almost. And one of the games we're going to talk about later on is New Braunfels versus Alamo Heights.
I was going to say, because you never mentioned New Braunfels.
Yeah, because they've just slowly moved up. Everything that I was hearing was it was an off year, and probably like Judson, they just needed an opportunity to get together, make
Okay.
chemistry.
Okay.
Um, we have Piper there in fourth place, and I'm telling you,
Veterans Memorial.
yeah, but they almost have to win out, if not win out, and then it drops off from there. So it's really we talked about it early in the year. It was going to be a battle for that fourth spot, and so
So the top four go?
top four go,
Okay.
and then you know it's gonna. I'm interested to see that New Braunfels Alamo Heights game. Um, you know, the city of San Antonio, SAISD schools in particular, um, should get the exposure that they are are earning. You know, come Friday, Jefferson #1 is going to play Highlands #2, and Highlands just took it on the chin last week or earlier this week. You know, so then you say, well, what's the next game? And the next game is Seguin versus Edison,
Mm.
9-3 and 9-4. And but I feel like the top four are pretty secure unless they just fall off. Uh, being 2 games up on Burbank, um, I think there's 5 weeks left. So if they win 3 out of 5, then they should be fine. Any one of those teams. But that I was telling Vance, like it's almost like you might want to change plans for Friday to hit some of those games, but that Seguin Edison is in Seguin. In 28 5A, same story, different week. John Jay smashing people. Um, the the game of the week for me over there in that Southwest ISD is going to be Southwest versus Southwest Legacy. Um, Southwest Legacy needs some more wins to be in the playoff hunt. Um, they're sitting there fifth place, and they're going to need some help. But it's still in the mix where there's a fight for fourth place.
Well, I mean, they only one game out of fourth, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
my bad. Yeah. Um, Phil's new favorite team, Johnson Jaguars.
I'm still with Reagan too.
uh, Reagan's tied with uh, Phil's unfavorite team, Clark. Uh,
My favorite school.
but then we scroll on down, man, and uh, there's that Brandeis Madison situation come out tied for fourth. And if they get some timely wins and Clark continues to stumble, because that's the one who knocked off Clark to begin with in this round. So they've got the coaching to do it. The players are bought into it. They're young, so they don't really know to be nervous at this point. Um, so we'll move on over to Vance's favorite rookie.
Vance's.
Now, you passed my favorite. You just did my favorites. They don't have to squat. They're gonna have to squat. They gonna have to play like they home on the range. They free out there. They got to be them free wild stallions. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna have to bring it. And but hey, I'm still with them. We rolling because I got to find out about that culture.
Oh yeah.
That,
Oh yeah.
that culture.
You know, Brennan's top dog, and so then we just moved down to that Harlan Sotomayor, 1 game difference. But man, I don't want to say I'm surprised at Soto being in it this late. You know, Coach Joseph been building a program for a minute, and they play tough. They play physical, um, and they have a point guard. Um, I need to come up with his name, um, plays strong with the point, scores well. But there's Mr. Consistent O'Connor. I don't know how many times he's been to the playoffs in a row, but you got the remnants of that team that went to the regional finals here against. I don't think it was Brennan. I forgot who they played, but I think it was Brennan. But they lost it at the end. And but that point guard Evan Herrera, Phil, we talked about him at the O'Connor Brennan game. Uh, and how Brennan was suffocating defense, but Evan just kept coming back for it. And I really like that kid.
Yeah.
So Warren's on the outside looking in. Um, so I think that district's almost settled. Um, and for all that's been said and done, um, that's still essential, man. Those are 2 tough teams. But like we said earlier, let Judson get into the playoffs and let people F around and find out. Because they're not going to back down for anyone. And when you look at them stature-wise, I know Tony talked about it in his preseason conversation with Alamo City Hoops, where he was talking about how sneaky good Judson could be. Because we're still dealing with a new coaching staff. We're still dealing with a lot of adjustment and change, you know. But I think Coach Cantu is doing a good job of emphasizing his culture the way he wants the program ran. Because you see him running, I won't say plays, but running motion. And if you watch them in the last few years, they would have people just take shots. Um, and I think there's a much more basketball approach to Judson now. Mr. Vance Bradford, do you have anything you want to say, sir?
Well, man, I mean, will the playoffs really bring us some kind of, you keep saying now, I mean, I'm looking at Justin 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're the 4th. So, and you keep saying if they make it in, so they're at 4th. So if you say if
They're going to make it in.
Well, yeah.
But okay, so they're gonna make it in. They're in the 4th spot, but you guys telling me that Brennan is this and that, the best in the West, and I just don't see where these other schools gotta, it's gonna show us something. I hope they do.
Well, no, I'm with you. I think
I hope they
if
do.
you put these teams against Brennan, sometimes Brennan's going to win 10 out of 10. Other times they might win 9 out of 10. So it's
Yeah.
not a discredit to
Right.
Brennan.
Right.
Right?
Vance, it's like this. They got that spirit, to persevere and go. It's like I dominate you every show, but you still keep coming back. You still keep saying stuff. That's that spirit what Kevin's trying to tell you about.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, well, I sure hope they have. If they have your spirit on my domination, yes, and the rest of them, y'all in trouble. But no, I want to see a good playoff, man. I'm really anxious, and I'm just saying that, man, to just to stir up something to see. But Kevin, since we really stepped this up, this part of Sports Edition, and how you really want to highlight San Antonio basketball, you're doing a great job, and it's given me a great opportunity to meet some of these kids, and it's a really good thing, man. Hey, I really don't care, the win and losing part. You know what I'm saying? That's because
Yeah.
I'm playing, but I like to see young men being trained, growing up, becoming men, competing. I
Hmm.
think that's what I want to see, man. So yeah, I talk a little noise over here, but I appreciate you how you pushing these cats, and then we're giving them an exposure to platform. Like I say, man, whoever you bring over to the platform, we're gonna welcome. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs. That's me. I'm not like Phil. A regular season. Phil's really regular season. Get to the playoffs, and they call him
Well, that's
cat.
because he's a Sooner fan.
Yeah, they regular season. Yeah,
Yeah.
so and that regular
I'm
season
sorry.
is good.
That's why only USC has more Heisman Trophy winners championships than us. I'm sorry.
I
Oh
know.
well, you know what, Phil?
He was
Let's talk about the last 20 years.
Well, Kevin, let's talk about the last 50 years.
Nah, because I'm not that old.
I am.
Hey, let's go ahead and run through those games, Vance.
all right. All right. Let me get on down here, sir. Come on, V. Get down here. Bam.
Um, we've already talked about the rivalry game for Southwest and Legacy. Uh, we already talked the importance of New Braunfels and Alamo Heights. The SAISD games are going to be important, but as of right now, the crew of us have decided that we're going to go for Incarnate Word and Houston Christian, and I'm excited for that game for a couple of reasons. One, um, Incarnate Word just got their first road win uh, against UNO, University of New Orleans, and so they're going to come back with some confidence. They've had a week or 6 days to prepare for Houston Christian, so we should see a inspired play. And they're still getting that program is still getting built. Um, their record is what it is, uh, 10-11, so they're almost 500. They played some difficult places. Um, Coach actually took them up to Cameron Indoor Stadium, and they played against Duke early on in the year.
Who did?
Incarnate Word.
Okay, so let me get a good clarification. So you told me UTSA's Division One,
Yes,
and kind of Word Division One.
yes, yes. They're in the Southland Conference,
That's right. You keep saying, okay, I'm about to research on that Southland Conference, and then St. Mary's Division Two.
Division Two. Yeah,
Right.
and we're going to talk about all of them tonight, real briefly. Um, but yeah, they played in some tough places. Played some established programs like a Lamar, um, like a Corpus Christi. I mean, Coach Long has that school rolling, so um, it'll be good, man. It'll be good. Talking about uh, Saint Mary's. They have a conference game tonight down in Laredo against Texas A&M International, and then they have one more on February 1st. Would actually be a big win for them. Whether I would say they're probably gonna be favored, but they won it by one in overtime on campus here in San Antonio, and that's A&M Kingsville.
Where's that game February 1st?
A&M Kingsville, so up in
Ah,
Kingsville, uh, and then I'm sure February 6th we'll be back over there in Bill Greehey Arena to watch them play University UT Tyler, and I would hope more people would come out to those games. I mean, we talk about it, but they're 11-1 in conference play.
right.
You know, I
That's
think they're
crazy.
19-4 for the season, and or 14-4. You know, and they play a good style of basketball. They play an enjoyable game of basketball. Um, so it'd be great if the city would support them in that endeavor. And then we'll finish it off with UTSA. Um, they're playing in they played up at Boca Raton, Florida, at Florida Atlantic University. They won by 20 up there, and they're going to be playing University of North Texas. So that could be a competitive environment to go see. I think there's an outside chance Ducky may go over there to watch that
Wow.
game, and then they're back home for a couple of games for Tulane and East Carolina. So we'll be back out there soon to support our UTSA Roadrunners. And you know they started off rocky, but now they're even 10-10. So 500 in regular season, 500 in conference play, and they're on a 2-game win streak. You know they they're 6-3 at home, so they play really well at home. And so I'm excited, man. And you know, next year or two, maybe somebody pulls off a surprise. Maybe we'll get to see these guys in the NCAA tournament. Uh, and I want to, you know, I have my notes that Lee has that 6'7" sophomore, uh, Caleb Wilson, Caleb Stevens, Caleb Stevens. And if mom, if you listening, there's an open invitation to the doghouse for him. We talked a little bit last year, but I want to see that young man get with somebody and develop uh, because he's athletic, nice guy. Uh, Sometimes you wish to be a little meaner, but he's got a good spirit about him, and I hope the best for him. But I would love to see him over the doghouse. Vance,
Yep.
yeah. You have it. You guys have anything wrapping the show up?
No,
Well, go ahead, Phil.
no, I just want to say that it's really kind of a travesty when you have a team playing so well as UTSA and you just can't get the fanfare, a fan base to come out and watch them. But those guys, they just, you know, go on about their business and do it. But so, like Kevin said, hopefully, some people will start coming out and seeing what you know when you have an opportunity to see something good, go have something to cheer about. And because so often we see people can't wait to go and boo a team that's
Yeah,
not playing well. So this is your opportunity to go and cheer on some guys that are really playing good ball.
Uh, yeah, I like to say, and I see that booing has really got to you. There's many situations I know you feel boos coming raining down,
Exactly.
and and I know it was a traumatic experience on you, and we don't want to see our young
No.
people that can play uh, be booed. Okay.
Hey, you know what, man? I want to say something. At that Lee Johnson game, I mean, Johnson Reagan game, uh, the Reagan student section was very loud. Uh, they stood up a lot. And one of the parents from Reagan was trying to watch the game. And Phil, I don't know if you picked up on it. And she asked him to sit down. And, one guy goes, "Oh, they can't make her sit down." But then two or three people asked the I say lady, the woman, if they could switch sides. And he said, everybody be happy. Then you can watch a game, we can stand up. So, I mean, in a day and age where people, like you say, feel Vance ready to boo on people, uh, that was a nice moment. Um, because I work in education, and it's always great when you have examples of sportsmanship, all those words, but and really just being a good person. So, shout out to Reagan. I never thought I would ever say those words. Shout out.
Well, Kevin, that's the way they do it in the hood. Uh, you know, they
Yeah.
work that magic, sprinkle a little of that pixie dust, and all is good.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
you wasn't in the hood. Okay, so I do want to say, let's get back to these colleges, but I do want to put out that we out there covering the high school games, and I'm very impressed, like of how you interact with these athletes, Kevin. But then also, which really you took it up another notch. And I'm just saying this because people don't know that, and you don't tell nobody. I'm not trying to. But
Mhm.
the fact is, and this is why I'm telling this because there's other moms and dads and that have their sons that's trying to get out there and make it and stuff. And the One Eye Scout does something that I thought was really cool, man. And every college game, he would love to take. He takes well, the first two Incarnate Word and St. Mary's, you took players to the game.
Mhm.
After the game, you introduce them to the coaches. So you making that connection, man, and I really thought that was impressive. And now we connected with UTSA, and UTSA jumped right at it to have you bring some players, some
Yeah.
student athletes to the game, man. And I want to give you that's a big little thing for kids because high school, man, it's man, you could be there. It's so easy to break a career, be a dream killer. You know what I'm saying? And high school is at that critical point because your next levels is college.
Yeah.
That's the last few years before you become that tax-paying citizen that you really enjoy. You're gonna enjoy playing ball, and you know what I'm saying. You're a student, and a lot of the life pressures are not on you. But I do. You are impressive. I do like that you have the student athletes and their parents, man.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is meeting the parents too, man, of these athletes is something else. So we're gonna be doing some trying to bring some of the parents together and for talking. And I do want to shout out this. We want to start something, and I'm gonna be try to put this together. I'm gonna do something like the coaches' corner because once again, I'm very impressed with the number of coaches, and I'm gonna say black coaches and
Mhm.
and minority coaches, that are being hired, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And the thing about it here at TAAN TV, we love for people to tell their stories. We like to hear their stories. So, and I know being the challenges, there may be some challenges, that come along. So we want to sit down and talk to the coaches. I know you talked to a few of them, like Coach Brooks,
Yeah.
coach over at Southwest. Is it Legacy?
Yeah. Southwood Legacy. Coach
Yeah,
Abbott.
Coach
Yeah.
Abbott. And then and then so and I met a few of the other coaches. Man, I still want to get to the coaches at Harlan. I mean, every time we turn around, which of the coaches?
Taylor is your coaches.
Taylor, Coach
Lawrence
Taylor,
Taylor.
Coach Taylor. Yeah, yeah. What's the coach over? They read
Coach Cantu.
they wear is it South? Were they South?
Oh, on the South Side Cardinals.
Southside Cardinals. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So man, I'm just so impressed with what's going on and with the athletes, the coaches, and so and we're gonna get in those stands, y'all. So if you see the one eye scout, Phil Townsend, and Vance Bradford at the game, hey, come ready because we might put a microphone in you and want to hear what you say. And Phil, y'all, we just we out here trying to just spread the word and promote the athletes and TAAN TV, the One Eye Scout, and Phil Townsend. We just out here trying to be a vehicle to be used to get the word out and see these young kids prosper and move on to live their lives. All
Yeah.
right, I'm done. Go ahead, Kevin or Phil,
Pass the collection plate.
and let
No,
the church say. Let the church say.
I appreciate everyone that's watching. Um, we really enjoy doing this, and I just see you at the gym.
Yeah, man. And go ahead, Phil, and I'll close it up, and we get
Oh
on out.
no, I can't wait to get an opportunity to go to the doghouse with one of you or both of you.
Yeah, you got to get him up. We got to get him up into the doghouse there, Kevin.
Sundays at 2.
Yep, that's when they go work, man. So hey, guys, the recap, and then we're looking forward to our Friday's games. And now, so Incarnate Word game is Friday.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, so y'all, hey, it's been another great show, man. The Coffee Break Sports Edition with Vance, Kevin, and Phil. Uh, guys, you want to say one last thing, and we're gonna get on out of here. I'll jump to a little commercial and until we see each other again. See us out Friday. At Incarnate Word. We're going to see
Yeah.
Incarnate Word. Yeah, we're gonna do that, man. You bringing some kids? After I done pumped you up about it.
Well, the only reason it's a high school game night.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
be playing. Yeah, yeah, they be playing. All
Yeah.
right, all right. Maybe we can grab somebody on the bench or somebody is.
Well, you might suit up, Vance, have a flashback to the day, and like you said, the bench. Uh,
That's not the only
Hey.
time I'll be relegated to the bench at 66. Relative to the bench. Because these knees are gone. These knees are gone. But anyway, guys, appreciate it. Kevin, Phil, man, it's been great. We're gonna get on out of here, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get our cameras off, and then I'm gonna go to a commercial, and we're gonna be out of here. I'm gonna show you something. I love this take, and we out, yo.
establishing and building that tribe is very important. So I think this episode we're gonna get into our friends.
But your friend. Yes, friendships.
Yes, and the importance of building that circle.
I mean,
So
I'm still
I'm
vibing. I'm just like,
no, the importance of building a tribe.
Yeah.
And I think you said it a lot, like, my tribe, the people that come up to support you. Because I think that in the midst of what we're going through, when you don't have your family support, the people that you bring into your life is the next most important thing. It's lonely doing something different because within your own family you isolating yourself basically, and you kind of feel like, man, I'm on this island by myself. So the people that you bring in to support and all of that.
And I think the reason I'm like that is because what y'all do for me for like that trap, like y'all are my sisters. And to say that and have living sister who doesn't deal with me is like y'all give me what I'm missing, right? So like it's like for me it goes beyond a friendship at that point. It's like, this is what I wanted to do or I was trying to do within like that sibling relationship, but rejection. But these people who aren't my siblings, they're taking it in and they're like, so it's like I'm being the sister that I always wanted to be, and y'all allowing me to have that space. So that's why like I'm always going hard. I'm always sending like random flowers, and like if something happens, I'm just like, well, I didn't mean to do that. And this is why I over explain because I feel like that's what siblings would do. Like, so I don't see it like from a friend's lens. Like, we are family. This is what families do to repair relationships, and they keep moving. And y'all always give me that space to like keep moving. It's never a situation where I feel like, oh, I did something wrong or we didn't agree, and then like I'm not talking to her no more. Like y'all give me the space that a family would give.